So here we are with Mr. Robert Nix, the CFO of Bus 4x4, who have recently implemented MYOB Acumatica and went live probably 4 months ago, as such. So Robert's agreed to have a chat to us about the experience. So Robert, over to you. Tell us a bit about Bus 4x4, the background.
Okay, Bus by has been around since 2011, off the top of my head, and we're basically a specialized manufacturer of transport, in particular buses. And when I say buses, it's for the four-wheel drive market, where there's a need for customers for, a four-wheel drive to transport, a group of people to say a mine site or a tourism site. And we specialize primarily in high ice vehicles and coaster vehicle types. And what we do is we take those buses and we strip them down and re-kit them with four-wheel drive capabilities.
Wow, okay. There's all the Toyota buses, I guess, yeah?
Yeah, and that's our production business. We also have a higher. There's a higher part of our business where we actually build our buses for our hire fleet, and we have about 120 buses that we manage in our fleet, and it's a good area where we do anything with regards to our R&D. If anything breaks in our hire fleet, we know our customers. We back our own self with the R&D, so in maintaining our own fleet, as opposed to a customer being left out in the dark or anything like that. And we have a parts distribution network here domestically and a distribution network globally. We're in quite a few locations now around the world, and we have just a typical, asset company as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. So quite a sizable operation this day.
Yeah, and growing rapidly.
Yeah, obviously. So prior to MYOB Acumatica, what software systems were in place?
Well, like a lot of mid-sized businesses, they started with, paper, and then they moved to these small accounting packages like Xero and MYOB. I think we had a mix of those. Then you find an enormous amount of Excel spreadsheets that are regarded as source data as opposed to reporting capabilities. So, and we got a combination of different inventory systems. We had multiple inventory systems. And we had multiple browsers for maintaining our CRM solutions and our service management on production. So it was very diverse. So nothing was all in the one box.
No,
and we actually had one operation that primarily just ran on an Excel spreadsheet.
Wow. Okay. So that's the reason to move to an ERP system, on all-in-one solution as such, yeah.
Yeah.
So why choose MYOB Acumatica? Why did Acumatica win out against any other of the competitors?
Yeah, so they brought me into they asked me to join their operation because they knew I had some exposures to doing assessing businesses and then determining the appropriate software for that business, for their information systems. And the good thing about, I've selected MYOB ERP on the last 3 occasions that I've done this particular type of transaction. And the good thing about MYOB Acumatica is that it's been Australianized. It's a top 10 ERP solution provider as well. And all businesses have its unique requirements in that, hey, we do business this way. So the good thing about Acumatica is you can do plugins and you can do customizations is a big plus for us.
Okay.
Because we have some unique requirements with regards to data capture and process.
Yeah, but all our clients have unique requirements around it. That's why, yeah, it's such a good fit. Like you say, it's so customizable to suit the clients.
Yeah,
All
and
right.
it suits our Australian standards as well. So that's a huge plus.
Correct.
And also too, you can interrogate the data sources using products like Excel, Power BI, all those sorts of things. Yeah. So
Correct.
that's a really good thing.
Very good. All right. The nitty-gritty, the experience of implementation. How did that go?
Oh, excellent. So I've worked with the Momentum team on the last 3 occasions, and I have priced outside of Momentum, and I keep coming back to Momentum to do this sort of an arrangement simply because the guys that on your install team are well versed in the product, understand it from the ground up, and they are always professional in their delivery. Even when you got a client that might be like myself, that might get a little cranky along the way, they are calm, cool, and collected all the way through the process. So hats off to those guys. Well-trained guys at Momentum.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. Well, good to hear that. Fantastic. Yeah. So at this stage, what modules, features are Bus 4x4 using?
Yeah, so we're using all of the standard accounting modules, the accounts receivable, payables, finance, payroll, the whole works from a standard point of view. Inventory management, absolutely. CRM we're using, all from within the package itself. None of that has been customized for us. We've had some in the fixed asset register we're using. We've had some customizations in it because we have a lot of financing of our fleet. And the customization we put in there was a tab for maintaining our amortization schedules, for instance. And that's a huge plus for us to be able to have it all in one hole. And so my finance documents all sit with, with that particular fixed asset. So it's a one source of truth. And then we've got some customizations that are done specifically around our rental fleet. Which dovetails into our work orders as well, and our return on investment requirements for our fleet. So we're using a lot. I envisage in the next 2, maybe 3 months, we'll do. I'll bring online probably the project management module. I think that's something that we could very much utilize, and I'm looking forward to the upgrade so that our material requirements planning module can come into effect and help us with our forecasting processes, especially against our prospects that are coming in now through our CRM module, which used to stand out. It used to be all on their own. So when that module comes in, it'll help us to better align our just-in-time inventory. So, looking forward to that one.
Reduce stock holding and increase cash flow.
Yeah, correct.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it too soon to say any benefits derived yet from putting in the system, or is it?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. A simple benefit that we've got. So one of my primary objectives is productivity. So an example of straight off the bat, it used to take my production manager, about 5-6 hours a day per vehicle we would produce. So we'd produce anywhere between 8 and 12 units, vehicles a month. And one vehicle for him just to prepare the work document for the guys to build out the back would take him half a day. And with the new system in place, it is actually taking us 20 minutes.
Oh my God.
So huge savings. So we've just got some little tweaks that we need to get resolved with the customization, and that will actually my bottom line here from a productivity point of view is to give that particular manager a 30 hours of productivity gain.
Yeah.
So, and the other side of the equation is, I get it right at once my sales order's been created, say from my CRM team, my sales manager, it's just a matter of pressing buttons all the way through to me actually raising purchase orders on suppliers. That is just enormous. So the physical part of it, we don't have no more transpilation errors. So the only error that can be made is at the front end. And those orders then go through to our parts warehouse, and they just go straight into picking, and they pick, ship, and they just press a button as soon as they ship it to invoice my intercompany. So enormous savings. It's exactly what I wanted.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And the take-up by the staff, the change management side, was that pretty smooth, or is it still ongoing? Or
look, change management is always subject to resistance. There's always somebody that's going to be negative. Oh, that's the way I've always done it. Yes. It doesn't matter where you go, you get those sort of people. But if you do a fairly comprehensive, engagement with them, you can minimize it. You won't get rid of it, but you can definitely minimize it. From the busway 4x4 family, I think I probably had maybe one or two of my users that was, had pushback. But, at the end of the day, when you make this sort of an investment, you either get on board or you go do it somewhere else. Yeah. So it hasn't been too bad. But like I said, every installation has someone resistant to change.
Yes.
So
correct.
So it doesn't matter how good a salesman you might be.
No, it's right. You mentioned looking forward to the new release for the MRP side of it and distribution. And any more future plans like overseas expansion? You did mention.
Oh yeah. So we've just about to start our UAE operation, our warehouse, our central warehouse for the Asia Pacific region. In the UAE, and so all it was installing another tenant within MYOB, and it's going to be the same configuration as we have here domestically, just in a different currency. That's all. And we have distribution networks that are third party from there, but basically Dubai is going to be a sort of like a central hub for that reason, just to cut down on transport costs, and it's also to help us with some of our input costs as well from our supply chain. Yeah.
Fantastic, Robert. I appreciate that. Thanks very much. Any other further thoughts you want to add or comments?
Just a great product to work with. The ability to drill down to the data source and do analysis is amazing, and now especially now that we have all of these AI tools at our fingertips, you can drop, say, your warehouse data set into a AI generator and to give you insight. So our parts profile is about 4,000 parts, and then you've got all the history of purchasing and all those sorts of things and usage, and so dropping that into an AI model is just powerful. Yeah, just gives us quicker, faster insight. Yeah, and then using the tools like Velixo, dovetailing Velixo into MYOB is really, really, really handy. Like I'm an Excel user, and the capabilities of drilling, from the data source into Excel seamlessly is a big plus. Yeah, so really good stuff. The only we probably in a few months, probably 6 months time, our second phase will be to try and create customer portals where they can either look at their outstanding accounts online, or put a parts request. So just go straight to parts. ordering online for parts, possibly doing a sales configurator as well, to help my to try and reduce my labor cost at the sales side of things. So you build your own bus, all your requirements, and that will just flow through the Acumatica product. So that's ideally what we want, because we need to be able to do that, globally as well.
Yes.
So if I get my global partners, i.e. the distributors, they can then log in and say, hey, look, we want this sort of parts. Can you send them, that sort of arrangement, as opposed to the headache of going through all emails and all that sort of rubbish.
Yes.
So you get lost in translation somewhere along the line.
You do, time frames.
Yeah. So there's lots to do, but geez, we've achieved a lot. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's fantastic. That's good to hear, Robert. Thank you very much, and thanks for that feedback. Much appreciated.
You're welcome.